Hi bookworms, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is going to be a chilled back little talking video to you guys. Basically, I just want to talk to you all about my reading and a little bit of my life goals that I have for this year. So go and grab yourself a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get straight into the video. I have a mixture of reading goals that I've put in my bullet journal, personal reading goals that I want to try and accomplish, and also some personal ones that are like life ones, but they sort of do affect my reading as well. So I'm going to read the ones that I've put in my reading journal. So I do have my yearly goal, but I will get to that after these ones. But I would like to try and read 10 graphic novels and 10 mangas. I love graphic novels and mangas, I just don't read enough of them, and I feel like this gives me an excuse to finish off some series that I really have enjoyed, like Saga, Monstrous, Crowded. Also, I feel like it gives me an opportunity to buy some more, or if not buy some, read some from the library, as my local library has tons. And I just feel like graphic novels and mangas for me are really good for if I'm doing readathons where there's lots of prompts and I want to participate in, but I'm like, oh my god, I can't read that many books. But if I put graphic novels and mangas in, it's a lot more doable. And I also feel like when I read graphic novels or mangas, when I do 24-48 hour readathons, it makes it so much easier because I can smash out quite a lot of books because they are such easy reads. So I would like to try that. I also have a massive wish list of graphic novels and mangas, so I honestly feel like if I'm going to treat myself to some books, buy them, because I also want to have a shelf of graphic novels and mangas. I have started some like down this corner here, which you can't see, but I haven't got that many. Another one is I'd like to read free non-fiction books. This is the one I honestly don't know whether I'm going to be able to manage, because non-fiction is not my jam. I've tried, and a lot of non-fictions I've just not enjoyed. However, I have found that if I read a non-fiction that's something that does fascinate me, I might get on with it. For example, I'm still in the middle of Claudia Winkleman's like autobiography / memoir. I was listening to it on audio as well, and I was really enjoying it. I just didn't get a chance to finish it, so that's definitely an option because I did enjoy it. And I do kind of find that if I read non-fiction, I'm better off with audiobooks, because I don't know, I feel like I can like absorb it better. So I have done a massive big sort out with my non-fiction because I had loads, but honestly I was like, I'm never gonna read them. So I've kept like medical ones because I am quite interested in them. I've kept a lot of like true crime ones, and I've also kept some mental health ones, especially like self-help ones, because I think, especially for self-help, A, it will benefit me because I do suffer with anxiety, but B, it's something I'm fascinated in. So I think having just those three type of non-fiction, I might be able to do it. But for me, non-fiction doesn't have the get out of your own brain like what fiction does. Like, especially if I'm reading a fantasy book, I'm in a complete different world. I'm imagining all of this magic and all of whatever's going on in this book, and I completely forget what's going on in the world. I completely forget what worries I have, and I don't get that with non-fiction, which is why I struggle with it. But I would like to try and read free. I can't speak. I'd like to try and read free, but even if I don't read free, if I just manage to do one, well, that is a success in my opinion. Another one is to read a romance book every month. Now, I don't mean full on romance, I sort of mean a book that has romance in. So yes, I've got some contemporary romance here, which is absolutely fits the bill, but I also mean I've got like quite a few fantasy romance. I just sort of mean I want to read a book that has romance in, whether it's full plotted romance or whether it's like a subplot, I'm still going to count that. For example, I've got a lot of fantasy books here that have got a subplot of romance, and I'm going to count that because I know full well that if I read an actual proper romance book each month, I am going to get sick and tired of romance, because it's one of those ones where it's a nice easy read for me, but I just feel like it's such a fairy tale, wonderful, fluffy romance, and I generally like, that doesn't happen in the real world. Like, I've been single for 2 years. You know, I'm a single mum. I'm not overly bothered about meeting a guy and being in a relationship and all that. Like, I would love a happily ever after, but I'm not bothered if I don't get one. And I just read some romances and I'm like, that doesn't happen in the real world, and it just drives me mad. So yeah, when I say I want to read a romance every month, I do mean as like a subgenre as well. I don't just mean these particular genres like there. And lastly, on here is read a book outside of my comfort zone. So I could have classed non-fiction in that, but I wanted to do a separate one for that. So for that, it would be historical fiction. I don't mind historical romance, and I don't mind reading books about the war, but any other historical fiction I'm a bit hit and miss with. I also will include poetry. Like, I do quite like poems. I've read a couple. I used to have a lot of books by Lang Leave. She did a lot of well, she still does a lot of poetry, and I had about 3 or 4 books and absolutely loved them. I just don't read enough of it, so I would like to try and do that. Also, just as an example, The Little Prince, I would like to read some classics. That is an option. I would like to try some classics. I have actually put some classics on my 22 books for 2022. Yeah, and I also realised I have it in here and I forgot to say, I would like to read a sci-fi book. I struggle with sci-fi purely because I think I'm reading the wrong sci-fi for me. There are so many different sci-fi books out there, and a lot of fantasy lovers also love sci-fi, and I kind of can see why. I just feel like the sci-fi books that I have tried to read have too much terminology in, and it just goes fly through my head and I don't understand the book, which then in that sense I'm not enjoying the book. But I feel like if I read a sci-fi which has other subgenres in, or other bits in the story, I think I'll enjoy it. And the particular one that I'm thinking of for this particular goal is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is actually also in my 22 books for 2022. But I've heard this is very fast paced. I've also heard it's got action, fighting, it's got romance in, it's got a bit of mystery in, and it's also mixed media. Like, we've got emails, we've got reports, we've got letters, we've got text, we've also got just random things like that, random drawings. There's just some random like pictures and text in, and I just feel like this might be the perfect sci-fi for me. And if I enjoy this, I probably will pick up the rest of the series. But I also think if I enjoy this book in particular, I might finally know what kind of sci-fi I like. I do feel the sci-fis that I have read, which are about spaceships and like that kind of thing, and going into depth about spaceships, just go flunk over my head, and I think that's where I'm going wrong. I also am quite fascinated in books about AIs, so that would be good. On to like personal reading goals that I set, like not on my book sort of thing. So firstly, my Goodreads goal is 150. Last year I did 100 and I doubled that. By June, July I reached 100, and I think by September or October I reached 200, and by the end of the year and I didn't even document a lot of my books by the end of the year. I just completely forgot, and when I went to start my new Goodreads goal, I was like, I can't be bothered to put that I've read them because it will just mess up, and then I have to change the dates, and I couldn't be bothered to do that, so I ended up getting rid of them. But I think I was either 265 or 275. I'm not 100% sure which one it was when it was on my Goodreads, but I did read a few more books before that, so I would say I would probably have reached 300. So I could have done my goal for 200. However, this year I have limited more of my reading. I'm not doing tours anymore, so a lot of the reads that I did last year were for tours, and I had so many tours for each month. Like, I tended to be reading 2 books a day, sometimes 3 books a day at a push if I can do it, which gave me more books read, but it was very, very stressful. So this year, sort of, I'm not having a massive TBR, like I'm setting my own TBR at 3, and then I have obviously book club books, and then if I want to participate in readathons, I can incorporate that in. So I've decided to do 150 because I think that actually might be a challenge for me this year, because like I said, I'm not doing any tours, so I'm not got all that many books because I have to read them for tours, and because I'm not setting myself a huge TBR either, I don't think I'm going to read as much books. However, it also gives me a lot of room to mood read, so we'll see. So I think 150 is actually quite a good challenge for me for this year, and I'll see how I go. If I don't complete it, then I might just go back to 100. If I do complete it or I go over, then I might make it a little bit bigger, but we'll see. So that's that. Another like personal reading goal for me is I want to continue reading series. I have started a lot of series and I haven't completed it. I'm currently going through the Grishaverse series, so I've read Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm, so I've got Ruin and Rising to do. I've already done Six of Crows duology, so I've got King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, but like that I want to try and complete that series. I've also got all of the Shadowhunters books here. I've only read 3, and I have that many books to think. I've started a lot of series and I haven't finished them, and a lot of books that I've got in series, I've got the complete series because I'm like, oh, I'll read it, I'm gonna love it, and I've never read it. And I sort of like, there are some series that I keep, like my Shadowhunters, I've got a complete shelf of that. I'm gonna keep that regardless if I've read it or not. Akatar and Throne of Glass up here, I'm going to keep even though I've read it. And for example, Throne of Glass, I need to finish that series because I'm halfway through Kingdom of Storms and I've got Kingdom of Ash and Tower of Dawn to finish. So I want to try and concentrate on my series and finish them, and if I love the series so much I want to keep them, I'll keep them. If I did enjoy it but I thought, no, I'm not going to actually reread them, then I can get rid of them, and it means I've got more shelf space. So that's that. I also, more a life and reading goal, I want to stop putting pressure on myself in regards to reading and things like that. So first thing is, when I do vlogs, I don't want to put pressure on myself, the fact that I might not finish a book. It's a reading vlog, that's it. If I'm going to do some reading, if I finish a book, that's brilliant. If I don't finish a book, that's absolutely fine as well. I need to remember that. I also need to remember when I do 24-hour readathons or 48-hour readathon vlogs, not to put such a massive book goal in it. Like, I'm putting 6, 7, maybe even more books in there, thinking, let's do this task, let's see how many books I can do. And honestly, I know for when I'm not going to do it, especially in 24 hours. There's no way I'm going to read 6 books in a day when I sleep as well. Like, I can sometimes smash out 2 depending on the books, but I'm not going to be able to do it unless it's graphic novels like the saga volumes, which are small. Then yeah, I probably could smash out like 7 or 10 or something like that because they're small. But like a 300-page book or more, I might be lucky to finish a book and start another one, but I need to stop putting pressure on me, because I feel like because I'm watching so many amazing booktubers content. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to give more, I want to you know, make people like think, oh my god, wow. And doing so, I'm putting so much pressure on myself that I am getting really stressed and I'm not enjoying reading. Like the end of 2021, I really had lost my reading mojo. Like I was reading and I'm shocked that I managed to read 6-7 books, but I can honestly say I wasn't enjoying it. I was doing it for the sake of it, and I don't want that. You know, at the end of the day, reading for me is a hobby, it's enjoyment, it's something to get me out of my head when I'm struggling, and I don't want it to become something where I don't enjoy and then I lose my reading mojo and then I stop reading, because that has happened to me before. I went through a few years where I just hadn't picked up a book, and it was only sort of mainly the last few years that I picked up a book and started really loving it again. So I feel like this year I'm going to concentrate on just doing it for fun, doing it for me, giving you guys content, but also, you know, if I can't, you know, for example, COVID, like I couldn't film all the videos I wanted to because I was coughing my guts up and you weren't going to like it. I have done a isolation vlog because I wanted to, but you know, I sort of had to put in my head like, Amy, you're poorly, you know, you can't physically get out of bed, let alone do videos. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong just to have a week off, and I just need to keep reminding myself that. And that also includes on my Bookstagram. Bookstagram for me, I'm struggling with. It's become one of those places where like you get more followers and more views and likes if you do reels rather than putting a post up, or if you do put a post up, it's like you have to put certain things in and blah blah blah, and that you only get more recognition, whatever, if you save posts and stuff like that, and it's just really annoying me. I am like, I keep getting so close to 6,000 followers, and then all of a sudden I lose 100, 200 followers, and I'm like, what? And it's just become really annoying, and I'm starting to now just really concentrate more on how many likes I've got, how many followers I've got. Is this getting the engagement I want? And I'm thinking, I didn't do my Bookstagram for that. You know, I keep telling people who moan to me about losing followers and likes and comments, and I'm saying, oh, just do it for you, it doesn't matter about the number. And then I'm also now becoming them and doing that myself. So for me, Bookstagram is sort of, it's there, I'm still going to use it, but I'm going to use it when I want to. I do want to try and get into reels, because when I see people's reels, it does look really good, especially the bookish ones, and I feel like I would like to do a few, and I also like to get the technique right, so then I can put a few up, but for the fun of it, rather than getting the views, getting the likes, getting the followers, getting comments, getting like recognition. I just want it more for me. So I sort of decided my Bookstagram is going to be, I'll post when I want to post. I finally have picked a theme that works for me, so I can finally stick to a theme that works. So that's sorted. But I feel like instead of posting every book I've read and my reviews, I'm just going to post books that I feel like people need to know about, and put like not a lengthy review like I usually do, but just a little mini review with my pointers and like the pros that I thought of this book and cons. And yeah, so I'm sort of going to do that. I'm sort of going to post what I want when I want. I'm going to post books that I feel like people should know about. I'm not going to post every single book up. I'm also not going to post books up that I didn't enjoy, because I don't really want them on there to say. And you know, I don't post any books that I've DNF'd really, so I feel like, do you know what, I don't want to put posts up of books I didn't like, because quite frankly, you know, I won't recommend them to anyone. So yeah, my Bookstagram is sort of taking a step back, whereas my booktube's getting more focused in. And yeah, I just feel like for me, I just need to make reading fun. I do feel like I want to do a TBR game, but I also know at the moment doing that is just not going to work for me, because at the moment I'm really benefiting just mood reading rather than having a set TBR, where at the moment I know full well I won't complete. So I would like to do one, and I do have one in mind, but at the moment it's sort of, I need to, if I'm gonna do it, I need to make it all up and then play it like a couple of times and see whether it works in the fact that I can mood read still, or whether it's gonna become a, you know, set thing and it's just not gonna work. So if I do a TBR game, it might be the middle of this year, and then I could do it like, you know, July or something, and then carry it on. Or it might be that I decide, actually no, it's not for me, it's not going to work, just have this year where I just read what I want and maybe focus on a game once my reading mojo is completely back. But we'll see. And I suppose my life goal, it's not a resolution, but my life goal is more to do things for me, things that I enjoy. So if I want to go to the coffee shop and have a coffee and sit there and read, I'm going to go and do that. I'm not going to be pressured that people might look at me weirdly. If I want to go and have a woodland walk and sit on the grass and read, I'm going to go and do that. Who cares what people think? If I want to go to the beach and read, I'm going to go and do that. Who cares what people think? This year I just want to do it for me. I want to do things for me within reason. I'm not going to be selfish and forget my family and forget my mum roles and stuff like that. I just want to do things that bring me joy. And I also would actually like to get a part-time job, but my issues with that is there's not a lot around my town, and also because I've got some health complications, I need a job that fits around with that, and that is the problem, because a lot of jobs are struggling. And you know, if it comes to the part, like, you know, the whole world goes back down into a lockdown and I have to shield again, you know, that means I can't work. So I would like to do a part-time job, and I have put myself interest in actually volunteering in the library. They did say that for this year they were looking into getting some more volunteer roles in for people. So I have put my interest in. I am on their like little waiting list sort of thing, but I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. It all depends on, as well, the pandemic and like everything. But you know, that would be my ideal job, is either to work in a library or work in a bookshop. Like, I would love to work in my independent bookstore, but it's such a small shop and it's not a place that's constantly busy. They won't need any extra staff in, and the only other like sort of bookshops that are like would have staff is Waterstones, but the closest is either Weston and Bristol, and for me, well, that won't work because I don't drive, so I'd have to get the bus. The bus for either is actually 50 to an hour long, and it also, it's sort of, I still have to do the school run and things like that. So you know, I'm better off at jobs in my town rather than outside my town. But that's sort of my life goals. You know, I just want to do things that I enjoy, stop feeling like people are going to judge me. I don't care. And I would like to try and get a part-time job, and specifically to do with books, but we'll see. And yeah, I think they're mainly my goals. In regards to what you're expecting content wise from BookTube, I want to try and do vlogs still. Vlogs for me tend to happen when I don't have my daughter, so when she's at her dad's on the weekends, I tend to vlog then, because you know, I can just film whatever I'm getting up to, rather than when I'm vlogging when Alice is about. I try not to include her too much because, you know, she's my baby, I want to protect her. So when I do vlogs, it tends to be on the weekends when I don't have her, or when she's on like holiday with him. I still want to do, you know, my normal TBRs. I also want to try and join in on more of the like book challenges and tags that are on here, and also participate in more readathons that people host on BookTube, because I really do enjoy doing them. I definitely feel like I might incorporate more book hauls and book unhauls, because my first ever book unhaul, I got thousands of likes and watches, and I didn't understand why people like to see me get rid of books. Like, that to me is a really depressing thing, but you guys seem to like it, so I might try and incorporate that in when I do like a whole getting rid of books because I've read them and I don't need them sort of thing. And yeah, I just do my normal unboxings, my monthly wrap-ups, and I might also, just because I'm not doing so many on my Bookstagram, I might also take up and start doing some book review videos on here, as in I can actually really explain my thoughts fully rather than nitpicking it in my Bookstagram, so that might be an idea. I also do have like special vlogs I want to do, so I want to do a Fairy Loot vlog, which I was hoping to do this month. I was basically going to read all my Fairy Loot editions that I've got from 2021, and I was going to read, like, do a little game and read whichever book, and it's going to be like a monthly vlog, but it's going to be like a year-long series. But because I haven't had any time to do any vlogs because I've been down with COVID, my daughter's been down, like, she's literally had 3 weekends with me when she should have had like 2 weekends at her dad's. So I think I'm going to start that vlog in February and read 2. But I want to do that. I also want to do a Shadowhunters vlog. I would like to do a vlog, like probably like a yearly one, where I'm reading this whole series. I also want to do the 12 months 12 books challenge that's going on Bookstagram. I want to document that on my booktube channel and do vlogs of that. I'm hoping to do this month's one. I'm planning to do that the last weekend of this month because Anna's at dad's, so hopefully I can fit that in. If not, I might have to double it up. And any other content I see or think about doing, I do like have on here. Actually, I can go and have a look because I'm sure I've documented some of my so the other one is another one that I will be filming soon, so I'm not going to mention that. But yeah, so any other ideas and stuff, and this is where you guys come in as well. Please put in the comments what you would like to see from me, like if there's anything else you'd like to see from me, any like video suggestions, or whether you want to see more certain stuff. So do let me know, because you know, I happily have a lot of ideas and see if I can work with, because this year I really want to focus more on my booktube channel rather than my Bookstagram. But yeah, thank you for watching this little chin wag about my goals, and do let me know in the comments as well if you have any goals. And yeah, thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.